tuning in. You're listening to the Knobheads podcast with me, David Ekunno, and
Charlie Miller.
Wow, yeah, you came in so heavy, so heavy. This is the best. This is gonna be the best episode. And that's just what it is. You know, I'm excited. We have a special guest. Okay.
Blah, blah, blah. Coming live from Jamaica, man.
Yeah, he's excited. I'm excited too.
It be the one, the only, the trashy, the one with the wicked bumper, man.
Yeah.
It be Bobbie Hoskins, man.
Okay, that's your introduction. There we go.
What's a wicked bumper?
Yeah, she actually runs her own podcast at the Link Podcast with 2 S's. I'll put the writing on. But what's up, Bobbie? How you feeling?
Hi guys, how are y'all doing today?
Okay, here we go. So zodiac signs,
Yes.
something you believe in.
Stop saying that.
I will never stop saying that until you stop believing in it.
It's not something to believe in.
It isn't. That's what I think, because you shouldn't believe in it because it's dumb.
You're making it seem like it's a religion or something. It's not
Some
a religion.
people probably do follow that shit like a religion.
It's a science.
All right, tell us about it. How so is it a science?
So basically, the way you can break it down into a science is, if you have ever done acid, you would know.
I mean,
that everything is interconnected, right?
Yeah.
I've never done acid, but that's what everybody that I've talked to that's done acid before.
Okay.
They say, basically what they see is everything is interconnected, all the energy flows together, and if you've taken physics class, energy is everywhere. Energy is everything. That's how we're here.
Okay, I agree.
So the science behind the zodiac or astrology
Yes.
is basically that as inside is outside. So everything that is manifested on the inside, like basically when you have energy of, I'm going to set my intentions for the day, I'm going to be successful and stuff, you can tell that your world starts to manifest that around you, right? Or like basically people who are stressed out, their environment is stressful. What they're thinking in their head is created on the outside. What you're feeling, you're thinking is manifested on the outside.
For sure.
So the science of astrology is basically trying to go backwards, because you can't see, like you can't, pick apart what's going on in someone's inside of them. So what they're trying to do is look on the outside, the planets, the stars, how everything was aligned, and work their way backwards, trying to organize and compartmentalize what's going on someone's inside. Okay.
I like your examples because I agree with your examples. I just don't agree with how they are analogies for astrology.
This nigga David just cleared this stuff like a good, like 7 times.
Dude, I don't know.
And you're the sick one.
Seconds.
I might have lung cancer.
Like, you may need to count that on the podcast. I swear.
Yeah.
Like,
you guys should take a drink every time I clear my throat. That'd be a game to play. But now I'm self-conscious. All good.
he was just about to do it. That's why he said.
I was, and then I stopped, and now I feel like my throat is it's
dry.
Okay. It's fine.
Drier than the Sahara
So
desert.
dry. Keep saying that. So when you're looking at someone who's stressed in their head and has a stressful day, it's because your world is like what you make it. So if I'm stressed, and I have an interaction with someone, I have like that stress filter on the interaction. So if they do something that's maybe untoward for whichever reason, because human interaction is a bit wild, I might interpret something they do as negative, and I'm oh my god,
Water.
I'm in general, I'm drinking fucking water. I'm in general just seeing things in the world as negative. If I stub my toe, I'm gonna think about that for longer. But if I'm happy and I'm feeling good about myself, I stub my toe and I just keep walking. Do you know what I mean? Like it's how you interpret things, and that's, I believe, why what's inside your head, it kind of falls out to the outside, because it just produces this filter or lens that you see the world through.
But you would also agree that it's energy.
You could call it that.
It's a vibration. Everything is a vibrational energy.
Yeah,
it
it goes
so
into
hippie, hippy-dippy and
okay,
shit, but it's for real.
I will go with you there. Where I won't go with you is that there is some sort of vibrational energy about astrology or about the solar system and the sun's placement, especially when I'm born, that has this overwhelming effect.
Hold on. You're telling, this is some bullshit now. Now you sound like bullshit.
Bullshit
because
me. Okay, go on.
Okay, yeah, because in the summertime, let's give you an example for the summertime when it's very sunny outside.
Yeah.
Sun is shining.
Okay.
That's what happens when it's sunny outside.
Produces vitamin D.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Makes you feel.
I mean, when it's cold outside, I produce vitamin D too.
Okay. Oh.
Extra vitamin D.
Extra vitamin
We
D.
got 2 scientists in the building.
But yeah, so that's why in places like Seattle, people don't get a lot of, or in where you're from, people
London.
don't get a lot of sunlight. It's some people have vitamin D lamps because they need that in order to keep their hormones in check. It's all vibrational energy. When the sun is beaming down on you and you start to feel better, I mean, anyone who's been out in the sun who doesn't have vitiligo or who is an albino knows that shit feels amazing.
Is that why usually in colder or more foggier places like that, from what I tend to see, in general, I guess their whole energy or their whole atmosphere doesn't seem as happy.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, that's a perfect example. Even British people like British humor. We talked about British humor. And
I agree with you there.
And people from the islands.
I agree with you there. Yeah, I think the weather has an effect on your mood for sure. When it's sunny outside, you go outside and birds are chirping, you're happy.
Is the
when it's
sun
gloomy outside,
not a... What do we call the sun? The sun.
It's a star.
A star. Is the sun not a star?
It's a star. Okay.
So
what's your point?
Follow me here.
I'm following.
Why is it that it's so crazy to think that all the other stars or planets out there don't? First of all, the moon has an effect on us.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Why is it so crazy to think that those things don't also have an effect on us?
Here's where I remove myself from your line of thinking.
No, answer that question first.
Here's where I'm following you, and then I go, no, I think I'm going to go back. Your idea isn't just that the sun being out affects my mood. Your idea is that at the time of birth, I could be indoors. I could be underground in a basement. I could be in a hospital. But the sun being, or the season that it is, affects not just me at birth, but my entire life and the attitude and personality that I develop.
And let me explain why.
That's so much more.
Let me explain why.
That's why I'm sitting inside my house and you're inside the woods. Even though you said follow me 15 minutes ago, I stopped five minutes after I started.
Hold on.
Because it's too much. You want me to believe too much.
Hold on. Come back to the woods. Come back to the woods.
Take the mic.
Come back. Okay. So we talked about sunlight.
Yeah.
Let's go even deeper into the sun and its placement. That's how you create the season. Except for when now we're going to shit because it's global warming. But before that, when there were seasons, that's where that is coming from. That is a vibrational frequency. It's just cause and effect. The placement of the sun. Even if, you can just feel it. That's why they call it cuddle season, cupping season, and stuff like that.
Everyone can feel it because it's out, and if you go outside, it feels this way. You want to stay inside because the weather is this way, so you want to stay inside. And if you're inside, you don't have anyone around, so it makes you feel like it'd be nice if.
But even when you're inside, and you can tell, like, the sunlight is not. You can feel it. It's a different feeling all throughout the season.
Let's agree then. I'll concede that point. The season, the sun,
the placement of the
planets. the weather. Let's just calm down. Let's take one step at a time.
Say it. Just say it.
I feel like you're trying to recruit me to fucking Scientology or something. The placement of the planet. No. Okay. The weather and the season that it is can have an effect on my mood today. Anyone's mood. It doesn't matter when you were born. Just because you're alive, it has an effect on my mood because I interpreted it and sun just feels.
But is conception not a chemical reaction? Is it not a vibrational frequency? Sex is one of the highest forms. Sexual energy is one of the highest, most powerful, most potent forms of vibrational energy. And you're telling me
like this. So describe how the season. The energy of the season goes into, let's say,
that was
my
just an
energy
example.
as a person.
That was an example of how I was just trying to show you how all of the planets and the stars and all that can cause a reaction onto you as an individual.
But like in your way of thinking, if you want to go logic with it, how does the season's energy get into me, an August baby? Like I was born in August, So
So basically, you're saying how we organize in zodiac signs.
No, I'm saying if I'm a Leo, why is it that the sun's placement causes me to be, let's say, passionate and aggressive and loyal?
Because passion comes from a hormonal chemical placement in your body.
Yes.
Aggression
Okay.
comes
So you're
from
saying
a hormonal
that
chemical placement in your body. That's energy.
you're saying that the placements, the hormonal placements, were to some extent dictated by where the sun was when I was born.
All of it.
So, like, make that connection for me.
I just did.
You did it. You just
Because
said that this is.
you
just said that this is that. And then I said, okay, so how is this that? And you said, well, it is.
Well, because you're trying to overcomplicate it because
No, I'm trying to make sense.
No, it just makes sense because it's energy.
If I was like...
everything is connected. If you believe...
Concede my point real quick, okay? This is going to be real fucking dark, but I'm going to say it, okay?
No, I don't want to die.
I'm a white person for the purpose of this, whatever, analogy. Okay, my kids come up into the world and I go... you see those guys over there? They have more brown in their skin, okay? Therefore, they have more aggression, and that's just what it is. So you stay away from them because they're bad people, okay?
Okay.
Now,
That
as
sounds like some Lion King shit. What's that over there, Dad? That's the Shadowlands. We must never go there, son. Like,
that's the talk that they
that's
have.
my favorite scene of the movie. I ain't gonna lie, that's jokes. But yeah, so that's like saying that, and then what? Little Bradley just goes, "Okay, Dad." Doesn't ask any questions like why. What does it mean?
Where are you going with this?
Like you just did the same thing to me. You just said, "Oh, well, you know, that's what it is. The sun just causes vibrations, and therefore you're passionate, and your hormones are the way they are." And I'm like, "Wait, why?" I just explained it to you. Brown people are more aggressive. You know what I mean?
But why is it okay? But we just had this whole entire backstory of how this outer space, because I don't like saying planets and shit. That scares you. That freaks you out. How
you can say
everything,
either one.
how your atmosphere, how your surroundings, everything on the outside can affect the inside.
Okay.
It's literally that simple. Like
what I'm saying is that the way we
now, granted, I'm not an
way
astrologist. I'm not a scientist. But
I think where we agreed on that is that our interpretation of what's outside, like the weather, basically the weather and the season, because we feel warm, it's comfortable, or because we see the sun shining, because it's
a vibrational frequency.
Sure, let's say vibrational frequency. I'm fine saying that too, but you have to perceive it in the moment, and that's why we feel that way. It's not because I was born in that moment. If I was born in that moment, why would that vibrational frequency affect me for the rest of my life? That's my question. It just affects you. Like everyone, whether you're Virgo, Pisces, or Leo, can go outside and go, "It's a wonderful day because the sun's out."
You're like
Am I crazy?
two things. No, you're just putting
what am I
two
missing?
things.
Help me out.
It's hard for me to
Pretend
follow
I'm
what you're
7
trying
years
to
old.
argue against, because it doesn't make, like, you're talking about seasons and then zodiac sign. Like the seasons, that's just an example of, we're trying to get you to a point to understand that things on the outside can affect someone on the inside.
I'm saying
and that was where I was just going with that.
Right.
Now
I get
we can
that.
talk about
But
astrology.
we have to be consistent, because you used an example that made sense, but it made sense for a very particular reason that I keep stating, is because you can actually perceive the sunniness, and that's why I feel good about myself.
Well, because you're just trying to get on the things that you can tangibly see.
No, that I can explain.
That you can tangibly explain.
If I can't explain
now,
it,
I'm in the type
why
of
would
place,
I make it?
Well, see,
make
I'm
sense?
in the place where I am okay with not understanding everything about the world.
That's the difference. Well, I mean, I'm okay not understanding, but I'm not gonna think something is the truth until I understand why it's the truth.
So the difference between you and I, and this is why it's going to be hard, is because I am a very deeply spiritual person.
he said, "Because you are crazy."
Well, he thinks I'm a hoe. It doesn't matter. I'm a hoe.
I
I'm
really
crazy.
don't think you're a hoe. But
So
I can re-explain that story if you want, but that
no,
was
if you
really
explain
innocent.
It's going to sound worse.
With this right here, me calling myself not crazy, that was
David,
a little
it's
bit less
okay.
innocent.
You think she's a crazy hoe? We get
That's
it.
jokes.
I am a
We
crazy
get
hoe.
it.
Fair enough.
We
It's
get
kind of
it.
a compliment, but so yes. So I hate saying this shit out loud, but I
You're
would
very spiritual.
consider myself a spiritually intuitive person.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that I feel on a daily basis that I necessarily can't put into words or sometimes understand. It's just a feeling, and that's where it lies. It doesn't lie on the outer surface. And so I've come, like, as a kid, I've come to be at peace with, there are things about this world that I'm never going to get or understand. And probably until I take acid or get on the other side of that shit. It's just like colors. Like when you are on acid, I've heard someone say, I've literally seen colors that don't even exist when I'm sober. There's a whole, and so
I can hear colors.
I believe you. I believe you, Charlie.
You're safe here, Charlie.
I almost spit this damn because the look on David's face when I said I can hear colors. If Bobbie said I believe you, David looked at me like, are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious?
You're very. This is why I say,
I'm logical.
This is why I say you're such a masculine presenting person, because you are very side of the brain.
Yeah,
you're strong
I'm quite
on that,
logical.
and it's hard for you to be. It's hard for you to go into that realm where it's that I'm more on that side. So it's easier for me to accept some concepts. Not as like, this is the science, this is my religion, this is what, but I can be like, okay, I can see how that would work. Like, I could see how the chemical reaction of conceiving a life that is already a part of this earth. We are a part of the earth already. We came from this earth. This earth is another planet in a solar system. How is all of this not going to intertwine somehow?
I just don't see. Yeah, sure. I just don't see how the placement of any sort of solar body can have an effect on my character.
Because you're a part of it. You came from it.
If it makes you feel any better, David, I'm a very spiritual person too. But I 100% agree with you. Anybody who knows
come round.
Anybody,
come on, Charlie.
Because I feel like I'm sounding crazy because I'm over here trying to explain everything out, and it's like, no, be spiritual, just accept the world.
Wow. Okay. That's how I talk to you.
Okay, so how do you feel about zodiac signs?
At the end of the day, red fish equals blue fish.
Okay. No, be serious.
You know what?
Be serious.
You know what?
Come on.
Okay. No, dead ass though.
Dead ass.
Like I said, I am a very spiritual person, but I think it's a pot of shit whenever people be like, oh, you're a Virgo? Oh, that explains you. Or, oh, I know what to expect from you because you're a Virgo. Or, oh, like, yeah, I get along great with Virgos and da-da-da and all that. And I'm just thinking to myself, you don't know shit about me. Like, what makes you think you don't or do get along with me? What makes you think X, Y, Z just based upon some shit that you read or whatever that somebody else told you? I'm a firm believer up in, like they say that a Taurus is headstrong, quote unquote, whatever, da-da-da. I'm a firm believer up in everybody in some aspect has that type of character in them.
Yeah.
And all these people who believe up in astrology.
You think everyone's headstrong?
I think to a certain degree about certain things, yes. But what my main point is, what I believe is the fact that people who believe in astrology, I think that subconsciously they're fooling themselves. And the reason how they're doing it is, let's say that they read something about their particular zodiac sign that says, oh, yeah, you are inquisitive this month, XYZ, da-da-da-da. Since they read that, now they're going to be like, you know what? I have been inquisitive this month. Or, you know what? I do feel like I'm going to be inquisitive this month. And now it's planted in they damn... It's almost like Inception. Damn near these damn horoscopes and everything else is like Inception. Once they read it, it's planted inside their damn brain, and now it's stuck in their mind of like, this is what's going to happen. And so they make it damn near happen.
I'm gonna level with y'all here when it comes to horoscopes, because that's a whole other thing. Horoscopes.
Isn't it based on zodiacs?
It is. It is.
Oh, but it's like a daily, like this is what you're gonna see today if you're an Aries kind of thing, or this is what you need to watch out for. That's
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. It's like
now,
daily advice.
I don't know if like the horoscopes have anything, like when people say this is in retrograde and Mercury's always in fucking retrograde apparently,
yeah, it's like 3 days out the year it's not in retrograde. I'm like, well, shit.
Now when it comes to stuff, okay, we're gonna do two different things. When it comes to horoscopes, I don't know how valid a horoscope is gonna be. I don't. When it comes to like when someone says like fucking Mercury isn't in retrograde and then they give you an example, for me it is not crazy or outlandish to believe that what's happening on the outside can have an effect on what's happening on the inside. Just like the fucking moon. Let's give the moon some time, for instance. If you know anything about the moon, not only does it control the tide, we learned that in 3rd grade, but it actually has an effect on people's emotions. Do you guys know this?
People turn into werewolves.
That's true. This is true.
I
read that somewhere. I saw a movie.
This happens.
I don't like when you guys do this.
Teenagers need to be careful.
This is what it is.
That's what it is. That was a real thing. That was a real deal.
My friend was a teen wolf. True story.
Really?
Yeah.
So this has been the Knobheads podcast. Thanks for...
Sorry. Keep talking. Go on.
No, I'm just saying.
I don't even know what's the moon's effect on people. I've never read about this. I've been a moon signs, but I don't know what the actual.
I'm a moon sign. But yeah, it does. It has effect on your emotions. It can have effect on your hormones, just like when it pulls the water back and forth. So I'm just trying to figure out if you can accept 1 degree of it, why is it so hard for you to be like, okay, this is this.
Okay, as in with the water, like putting the tides in the moon.
No, she's saying if you can accept that the sun and moon have an effect upon people, why can't you accept that the stars in general have an effect upon people? Am I wrong?
You're right. Yes, that's my question.
It goes back to what I was saying before, that the sun or the weather has an effect because you interpret that, you see it, and it looks good.
No, it produces vitamin D. The sun produces vitamin D. It cured my daughter's jaundice.
Okay.
She didn't know. She was a newborn. She's not. Oh, the sun's out! Yay! Give me no. I put her in the window. She lay down in the sun, and it cured her jaundice.
Okay, so that's because sun rays, I mean, they're absorbed by the skin, and certain enzymes use to
produce vitamin D.
Yeah,
exactly. That's a frequency. That is a chemical reaction.
Yeah, but it's in the moment. It happens because the sun's out, and then the
conception is a moment.
Yeah, but then the effect
David's trying to argue is the fact that that's a direct, in that moment, correlation between the sun's waves and rays and whatnot affecting you versus astrology is based upon, if you were born under a certain constellation of stars, then for the rest of your life, you're going to have certain traits. And David is saying that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like
I'm like a translator in this.
I know, that's what you're here for.
Yeah,
but no, let me give you an example. So let's just talk about the living species on Earth. Let's talk about it. Species on Earth. There are millions and billions of species of life on Earth. Mm-hmm. They all have different chemical, vibrational makeups. And that's why they are the way that they are. We talked about colors and stuff like that too. So my question is why is it outlandish to think that your chemical vibration when you are conceiving a child has no validity, but you see that there's a dog in this room that has a completely different chemical vibrational frequency that it's displaying right now.
Yeah.
Yep. She's
sure.
different. She's different.
Yeah.
Why is that? Or even you and I, your skin is darker than mine. That's a chemical reaction. That's DNA. That's a vibe. That's energy. That's energy being displayed differently.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, you slowly losing me, Bobbie.
Okay, my question is
she had you, dude?
No.
The fact that my skin's darker isn't like energy.
No.
That's melanin.
Because
she lost me when she brought in the dog. I ain't gonna lie.
No, I'm just saying that there are different reactions to different things.
Okay. Give it another
it's
example
that
so we can
simple.
understand what you mean.
There is a different. Okay. So basically, there was a couple life forms on Earth when life started. Correct?
Adam and Eve.
No. Why the fuck would you believe in Adam and Eve?
Said a couple life forms. I don't necessarily believe in them.
Like bacteria, right?
Okay, cool.
And they all went their separate ways to create all of these different things. They're all displayed in different ways. Mm-hmm. And that set the trajectory for how things are today, correct? Mm-hmm. So why is it so hard to believe in the same concept when it comes to astrology and how people's makeup when they're conceived?
That's not the same thing.
Has to do with why?
Because what we just agreed on is that...
Okay, let me ask you this then. Why are you left side oriented?
Probably because of my childhood, I guess. I mean, to a lot of it... Yeah, it might be because of my genes, but also because of my childhood and the way I was raised. And
why?
The influences that
Why?
That spoke to me.
Why? If we're talking about genes, why? Why are men left side more, tend to be more left side oriented than women? Why are women usually more right side oriented? Why?
I mean, there could be a number of different factors.
Why?
Maybe there's some because of course there's a hormonal difference of men and women. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Okay,
but
then
why?
It's not because of the sun's placement.
No, but answer the question though. Answer the question.
I mean, there's gonna be a point.
She's basically asking us, why are men men and why are women
yes,
women?
Why? Why? Answer the question.
Because men have an X and a Y chromosome.
Why? But what is that?
Women have an
What's
X
happening?
and X. It's
but
a different
how did that
genetic.
Happen?
Because the guy gave him a Y instead of an X chromosome.
Yeah,
who's the guy?
Where are you
God?
trying to get
the father.
So you believe in God, my nigga? A nigga you've never seen.
The father. No, not God. The father. The father of the child gave the child a Y chromosome, and that's why he became a guy.
He didn't personally pick.
Like
you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do that. Was a reaction.
Okay, I guess
it was a chemical reaction.
It was a bunch of sperm, and the one that made it first was a Y chromosome.
It was a chemical reaction. Your point is.
Yeah.
My point is
because what we can definitely say is that whether you have a guy or a girl has nothing to do with where the sun is.
Do you know that for sure?
I don't know that for sure.
Okay, then why is it so hard for me? So why are y'all making me things?
I'm willing to bet money on it, and we'll Google it right now. Like, okay. Is there?
No, I'm not saying.
Is there a high probability of having a guy in the Leo season or something like that? You know what I mean?
I'm not saying that.
So if the sun can't even have an effect, here's the thing: if the sun can't even have an effect on whether you have a guy or a girl, how dare it have an effect on who I am when I grow up? And how aggressive or passionate I am about shit. Or how good I am at making fucking friends.
No, I'm just...
You can't even affect if I'm going to have a guy? Go home. Don't affect my fucking attitude.
But we don't know that for sure. Look it up and see. I don't know.
My phone's dead.
This is what
I for sure. Go on. Can we Google it?
I believe that obviously there's a difference of opinion here upon the validity of astrology.
My whole thing is because it feels a little all over the place, but really my point is I was just trying to bring up analogies on my thought process. So I'm not saying that when I was bringing up gender and how gender is conformed to how people are made versus how dogs are made, I'm not saying that is all the same. It's different type of sciences. All I'm saying that if it's not crazy to think that the sun can have an effect on you just by going out and, soaking in the vitamin D and stuff. I don't see how it's crazy to think that how things are in that present time when you were conceived or even when you're born can have an effect on your biological makeup too. I don't see how that's crazy. Because it's not it's not saying that this is how you're going to be forever. Obviously, things that happen in your life has an effect on you. Everyone's different.
But that is
everyone has seen different things.
It says that you have certain tendencies. That's what it's saying. That you're going to be like this forever. That's what your zodiac signs are. That's why I can look at Charlie and go, "Oh, you're a Pisces. That means we shouldn't be friends."
No, that's not what it's saying.
No, because that's how people treat it.
Yeah,
because they say that if you're this, then you should have this set of attributes. And let me stop.
Basically, what it's saying is if this is when you were born, this is how you are going to process certain things. And there's more than, like, people talk about Leos and stuff. There's more to you than a Leo. Like, you have a sun sign, you have a moon sign, you have a rising sign. Like, and that is where it gets scientific, because it's like, this is where Venus was when you did this. Venus is love and, you know, your sexual energy and stuff like that. This is how
energy.
Yes. And this is how Venus was.
And I get that.
Yeah. It's
I understand that there's like a massive, like a intricate science that's been laid out, but it doesn't.
You're just not gonna believe it until you're like, scientists have come out and.
No, you know what? Let's go from the science of it. Let's actually go to the practical side of it, because this is also why I guess don't necessarily believe it.
I have a question.
Pregunta.
So if that is the case, then Bobbie, what about people who are Pisces, but yet they literally walk, talk, live, breathe their whole life like they're a Leo?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
I don't know a Pisces like that. All the Pisces that I've met are.
But there
but
are
you do get like people that have
who
a certain zodiac sign.
They have quote unquote more in common with another zodiac sign than the one they was born with.
Right. Give me an example. Do you know somebody like that? I mean, you're saying that this is what it is, but
yeah, bring up Taurus. My friend's dead.
But Taurus.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you know of it? Because I know a Taurus and
Taurus people are very.
I read it and I was like, nah,
they're very Taurus women and Taurus men are different. So,
do you know women?
I don't know. I can't articulate it, but a Taurus woman, she's more. Both of them are usually practical. They're family oriented. They are traditional.
Okay. I know a Taurus that isn't very traditional, family oriented, not practical at all.
They love food.
Everybody loves food. What's next? Do
you want me to tell you or not?
Keep going.
Usually earth signs are food people. Earth and water signs are usually huge food people, like foodies. But very stubborn. That's obviously one of the biggest ones about a Taurus person. Like
she is very stubborn.
I've met stubborn, like my grandmother's a Taurus. Like she does not give a fuck if what you're saying makes more sense than what she is wanting to happen. That's how the fuck it is. Like they're very set in their ways.
I think here's what I think about most of the descriptions about different zodiac signs. I think about 85% of it can apply to anybody. Like if they read the sign.
But I'm not a stubborn person.
That's what a stubborn person would say. So.
Okay.
Like I'm pretty sure you have someone in your life that would say, yeah, Bobbie can be pretty stubborn. Like if this person read a zodiac sign that was you and it said stubborn, you'd be like,
not everyone in the fucking world is stubborn though. I know people who are just
not everybody.
Just go with the fucking flow, whatever.
A lot of people can be, and it's just it goes back to your first example of if you're stressed, then you have a stressful day. If you have that filter on what you're looking at, then it's easy to read into it a certain way and go.
So let's just talk about y'all's zodiac signs. Can we do that?
That's the thing. My zodiac sign is pretty spot on to what I am.
Okay, so shut the fuck up, you. You?
I don't think my zodiac sign is really like about me.
Okay, let's just pull up
I
Virgo.
think, quote unquote, I identify with other zodiac signs more than the one I was born with.
So you're trans zodiac?
Yeah. In today's society, I am.
Zodiac fluid. That's what he is.
In
That's what we call him. ZF.
You're trans. Okay.
In today's society, I am.
So let's pull up the Virgo. Strengths: loyal, analytical, kind, hardworking, practical. Weaknesses: they can be shy, they worry a lot, they're overcritical of their self and others. That's a huge one.
He's not very shy. I don't think he doesn't seem like someone who worries a lot. I think
are you the type of person that thinks every single possible avenue of how to conduct something before you do it?
Definitely. I would not be in my position right now if I was.
Okay, then we can go into moon signs and rising signs and stuff like that. It all works. It doesn't threaten me that you don't
identify more with a quote unquote other zodiac sign.
But I mean that happens often. That's
a
thing that happens often. People belong to one zodiac and they feel like they identify with another one a lot more.
A lot of their characteristics have similar qualities
of different zodiacs. Yeah,
but that's my point though. It's like,
who do you think you identify with more?
I mean, I'm not into astrology like that, but from the little bit that people try and tell me about, because I don't even go and read the shit.
So you don't read it. You've never explored it, and yet.
But we hear people say like, "Oh, you're so much. You're not really a Pisces. You're more of an Aries." You know what I mean?
People say that. Whatever. I don't know. I think maybe a Leo.
Yes, it's decent.
No, you're not a Leo. This is how I process a lot of zodiac signs.
Yes.
For me, I'm really sensitive to like masculine and feminine energy. Okay. That's where my realm is. Like, aside from zodiac signs and stuff like that,
I believe there's difference in masculine and feminine energy
and people's balance in that. That to me is way stronger of an argument. So, but when I tie it into zodiac signs, it'll be like Virgos, for instance, like Virgo men or Pisces men or Cancer men. They have more feminine energy than a Leo man. Not even in that way, but just not in that way, but just when I'm talking about masculine, I'm talking about left side, right side.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
But right side is creative.
Right side is intuition, emotion, creativity, spiritual, sexual, but left side is practical, aggressive, structured. For Pisces men, for instance, a Pisces man is someone who just lives in that other realm. You know what I mean? They live in the dream world.
Do you mean like they daydream a lot?
No, it's deeply emotional, deeply connected with that other side of you, that more vulnerable side.
What months is Pisces?
Pisces is like March and late February.
So if you're born in March, February, then you're gonna be someone who's deeply emotional. I don't know anyone.
Hey Siri.
But if you're listening to this podcast
Pisces men.
And you're a February/March baby and you're a dude.
Okay, I found this on the web for look up some Pisces.
No, that's not what it is. It's not sappy. It's just you have more feminine.
You're more in connection with your emotions.
Yes, you're deeply connected with your emotions, and
I would argue that you're deeply connected with your emotions.
I'm a Cancer.
Right, I'd argue that I'm pretty deeply connected. I just don't express it to the outside world because
you're masculine. You're masculine leaning.
Sure.
Everyone has emotions. But what
I'm saying is that if that was in my zodiac sign, I'd go, yeah, I guess I kind of am deeply connected to my emotions because I would know that. You know what I mean?
No.
Do you see what I mean?
No.
It's there's so much of it that is your interpretation.
That's
because
true.
You could say 85% of the descriptions about different zodiacs, I can identify with that because I'm a human being and that's it. Who do you look up to?
Beyonce.
Anyone else? Like who did you learn how to be around other people from? You know what I mean? And this could be someone in your life or it could be someone that you looked up to, like a celebrity. I've had a few of them.
Honestly, you talk about how did I become who I am as a person now, or who did I model?
Who do you?
Type of
but
vibes.
Not necessarily that you want to be but that inspires you. I enjoy the way they handle this kind of thing. I want to be more like that.
Oh yes.
Yeah, go on.
A business mentor of mine.
Yeah.
She's actually a Sagittarius, which this helps because she taught me how to be a less emotional person, taking things personally or handling conflict. She helped me with that.
Right. So I guess I'm of the mind that that's more where you get your behavioral quirks. You have.
We're talking about instinctive things that you inherent things that were embedded in your your biological makeup.
Like it's in your
yes,
DNA.
you can develop other qualities about yourself. You have the power of free will. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, so then I would believe that just comes from your childhood. From those years that you don't really remember growing up. That's what I believe. I'm not saying that you're wrong at this point. I'm just saying that's how I see it.
I think that yes, that comes a part to play in it, and I also think that before you were born, that also has a part to play in it. And let me give you an example. When you're in the womb, and I've had a child, so I know that the energy that I'm experiencing, she feels. If I'm experiencing stress, she's experiencing stress.
This is called epigenetics.
Exactly. So.
But there is a biological base for it.
Okay. So what's your point?
That's why I can concede that kind of idea, because it's your hormones are doing whatever that your hormones are doing.
So, but wait, why is that so far fetched now? Why are we going so far fetched now that can be a thing?
Because it makes sense, and they've scientifically checked it out. It makes sense. There are certain I'll briefly explain. There are certain.
Can you scientifically check spirituality?
Most of it, no.
Okay, so then we can't even have this conversation if you want to do it like that.
Sure, okay, I'll concede that. But also, then there's the practical utility that, for me, doesn't even land either. Like we were saying before, in my experience, there's a lot of people that are certain zodiac signs, but they don't really show those qualities.
Okay. Ooh, this is a perfect example. I work with this guy, right?
Yeah.
And he is the most shyest person. He's afraid of life. And I finally got him to say words to us because he was really sweet, don't get me wrong, but he was afraid to interact. You could just tell like a wounded dog. That's how he was acting, right? And I asked him what his zodiac sign was. He said he was a Leo. I'm like, really? You don't seem anything like any other Leo I've ever met, right? Mm-hmm. And he's then, on a completely unrelated note, he started talking about how his girlfriend was abusive to him. And ever since, before his girlfriend was abusive, he was a super, an extroverted person, very friendly, he was out of his shell. And then once that happened to him, he just became this secluded, shy, just deeply sensitive, scary type of person.
She, beat his ass?
She hit him. She would hit him. She would make fun of him. She would...
So she was physically and emotionally abusive?
Yes. Yes.
Was she financially abusive?
I don't know.
Taking that nigga money?
Probably. I
feel like a lot of women are financially abusive.
So my point is...
True that.
My point is that... So yes, you're right. How your zodiac sign doesn't necessarily set in stone how you're going to be as a person for the rest of your life, because things happen on a daily basis to you. Trauma, can change your makeup as a person. We know this. So those two worlds can exist. There's nothing wrong with what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. You're disagreeing with me.
We're disagreeing with each other because I think that whatever, he was an extrovert, I guess. I think whatever his natural sensibilities were when he was growing up, I guess you think that most of that came from him being a Leo, but I would just think that it just came from his upbringing.
It's a part of it. I'm just arguing that there's a part that has to play in it. I'm not saying that that's the only thing. I'm just saying that's one of the elements of why people are the way that they are. Okay.
Any closing points? She's still mad at me though.
No, I am, because I'm not. I don't want no smoke with nobody. I just want to believe I just have my little opinions, and I'm a lot more moderate than you made me out to be. Yeah, fine. And I'm hungry, so there's that.
Fair enough. It's a hamburger on the floor if you want. So that was the Knobheads podcast with the lovely Bobbie Hoskins.
Why don't you tell people where our fans can find you, Bobbie?
Okay, y'all. So you can check me out on my personal Instagram, which is B0VVIE.XO. And you can check me out on my link, my podcast Instagram, which is the Link Podcast with 2 S's. And if you're a freaking nasty motherfucker,
there it is.
You can find me at Kink Nick. I just recently managed this amazing event, and next time I'm just going to be a participant. I'm just going to be a party goer. So
there you go.
When is...
Now tell them where they can find your Pornhub link.
You can find me at...
When is the next one I was going to say?
Oh, February 1st.
With 2 Z's.
Oh, that's soon. Tight. Okay, and the information is going to be on the Instagram?
Yes, so follow Kinknik _, KINKNIK _, and that's going to give you all the information. If you want to get flogged by me, if you want to...
Oh, say that again.
Have
just,
me pour...
Just slower.
If you want to get flogged by me...
That's whipped in case y'all didn't know.
Whipped with a flogger, or you want me to drip some hot wax
that's ASMR.
on your chest, then you can find me at Kinknik.
Okay, I think you just got more followers to your page. Please subscribe, give this video a like, keep following us, and definitely comment below, because I don't think we resolved many of our opinions today.
We didn't.
But definitely put your 2 cents in the comments below. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.
Bye.
Bad bitches in my celly. Anime on the telly. Getting cheese, I like lettuce green, and I'm stacking bread like a deli. Bitch, I'm